This is along the same resonance of a person that often speaks in the sense of how caring they are. I'm super caring. I give too much myself to people. Yeah, you need to stop doing that. Like, I hate when people say that, like, it's a good thing. Like, no, you have acknowledged that giving too much of yourself has been detrimental to yourself. So stop doing it. You have acknowledged that caring too much for people that do not care about you has hurt you. Stop doing it. Stop being ignorant. Stop avoiding the signs. Like, stop evading. Stop displacing on how nice of a person you are. And let's acknowledge how ignorant that is. So I was on Facebook, and my second cousin recently had a child. She's around the same age as myself, or exactly the same age as myself. So maybe 21 to 22 or 20 to 21. Yet this second cousin recently had a child. Initially, she was with her baby father, and they seemed to be very happy during her pregnancy. Yet when she had the child, that is when strife began to occur. So I'm not sure if the father is not a good father to his child, or if the father is just not a good partner to my cousin. But all in all, the relationship is not what it used to be. It's not a relationship at all. They're just co-parenting. If they are co-parenting, I'm not, with them physically, so I don't know what's going on. And this is my second cousin, so we're not as close as, I would say I am with my first cousins. So moreover, I wanted to have this discussion because it seems like my second cousin is very hurt over the fact that her baby father is not the man that she wanted him to be. Because I can't say that he's not the man that she didn't expect him to be, because if you're in a relationship with this man, as long as you've been in a relationship with him, it doesn't even take you a month to understand, the behaviors and or routines of a person. You can literally be with them for one day, depending on, how your awareness is, to just be attuned to what that person does or does not do, how good or how bad that person could possibly be for your life. You know what I mean? So I can't say that he wasn't the man that she expected him to be, because he was everything that one could expect given his actions and or behaviors, but he was not the man that she wanted him to be. And that's what I discussed in my previous video. You really have to remove desires to furthermore remove expectations, or to rather minimalize the expectations that you seek. All you can do is have high aspirations. But moreover, she seems to be very hurt and is very transparent about that. She speaks of her baby father subliminally and blatantly, and she just really seems hurt. And I don't know when I'll ever be inspired, for the lack of a better word, to communicate with her, because I just don't feel like that's my place personally, because we do not communicate on that level. Like, we haven't spoken since childhood. Yet I would always be open to it. I just don't know how familiar she is with me, because like I said, we haven't spoken since childhood. I wouldn't even know if she, knew who I am anymore. But that's neither here nor there. But, it's just like, for me personally, given the way that I think of life, the way that I engage with people, everything that I go through is a lesson. Even when you assess the word testimony, and I'm one to break down, words by roots and prefixes just to gain a better understanding of its meaning. So you look at testimony, there's test. Literally, the word test is within testimony. So everything that we go through is a test. Not every test we're going to pass per se. Not every test we're going to fail, but every test is going to be a lesson. It's going to bring about a lesson. So it's really about perception and how you perceive whatever you're going through. And it seems like my cousin is perceiving her relationship very negatively because it did not result in what she expected. You know what I mean? But what happened is what it became. You know what I mean? Like, I hate to say, you know what I mean? But like I said previously, this commentary is quite informal as it is impromptu. And everything that I'm saying is unfolding as I'm speaking. So it's not going to be as fluid or as concise or, formal as my typical commentaries. But moreover, it's just like, I think what bothers me the most is that she does not see it how she should see it, or at least how I think she should see it. I'm not going to say that's how she should see it, but it's just like, girl, you got to be acknowledging where you fell off. You know what I mean? Like, I'm always big on self-accountability. You have to acknowledge where you fell off at. You knew he was trash. You knew that he resembled trash qualities, even if he wasn't completely trash. But you kept on investing in something that was not producing the value that you were placing within it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I think it's difficult for me to see this on social media as well, because she's always like, I want everybody to get the karma for all the hurt that they caused unto me. Da 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 da. I want people to hurt. I want people to feel like I feel. I want people are gonna feel how they need to be felt. You know, people are going to be dealt with accordingly. Everything that you are seeking to be rectified, it's already done, boo boo. Like I said, no matter what spirituality or religious practice you hold, that's law. Like, it's going to come back to them, point blank, period. So you don't have to worry about that. You don't got to keep on wishing that. But what you do need to do is acknowledge where you went wrong at. Acknowledge, of course, like you've already done, who did you wrong, when you were done wrong. But you have to identify, like, why were you done wrong? You know, what allowed you to be done wrong? You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. Just assessment is for me personally, because no matter what, too, like when you're in a relationship, everybody holds accountability, whether it be a partnership or a collaboration. Everyone holds accountability when you're incorporating other parties or other entities into that equation. So her baby father is just as accountable as she is, but I think for me, just because I see her perspective mostly than his, it's just you have to be willing to acknowledge, like, girl, you shouldn't have did that, but this is what I did. Girl, I did this, but I shouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? I don't know, just acknowledgement, personal acknowledgement and accountability will allow yourself to approach the situation much more gracefully than it's being approached, because she seems very hurt. She seems very bitter. And I'm not, like, I'm not holding it against her. Like, girl, I get it. Like, you wanted him to be something that he probably said he was going to be. You wanted him to be something that you thought he could have been, that he is so capable of becoming, yet he never became. But you can't be in your feelings and expect love to be the icing on the cake when it's more than just love. There's more to love than just love. You know what I mean? There's practicality and logic that has to go into the feelings that you give to one another and that you receive. This is along the same resonance of a person that often speaks in the tense of how caring they are. I'm super caring. I give too much myself to people. Yeah, you need to stop doing that. Like, I hate when people say that, like, it's a good thing. Like, no, you have acknowledged that giving too much of yourself has been detrimental to yourself. So stop doing it. You have acknowledged that caring too much for people that do not care about you has hurt you. Stop doing it. Stop being ignorant. Stop avoiding the signs. Like, stop evading. Stop displacing on how nice of a person you are, and let's acknowledge how ignorant that is. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I hate. You know what like, I'm a very cut and dry person, and I know this might sound really mean and like really harsh and really abrasive, and it probably is, but it's just like, I can't stand those type of people. And that's how my cousin sounds right now. Like, she's just like, I'm just too nice of a person. I give my all to people. Da 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 da. And, I can have another conversation about being the empath that people don't usually discuss in the sense of defining an empath. But, even as an empath myself, I can understand this. I definitely understand giving too much of myself to people that did not deserve it. I can understand being too caring, being too thoughtful to people that wouldn't even think of me twice, not even once. Look, you know what I mean? But at the same time, I acknowledge that. And I stopped doing that. But I still give love to people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a heartless person. I still have a lot of love for even the people that, did me wrong in the past, because I can understand it. But you have to seek the understanding of it all. You have to see it less subjectively and view it more objectively. But I understand that that's not easy. Like I always say, to do what is simple isn't always easy. But it's just like, you can't always focus on what people did to you. You got to focus more so on why this occurred, based on what you allow, and how do you set better boundaries? You know what I mean? How do you discipline yourself better so that you do not have this same lesson taught onto you again? Because the test will always occur, it will always arise, but rather, is the lesson going to be a different lesson received? You know what I mean? So that's all I'm trying to say with this. Like, I know it probably sounds like tough love, and I definitely believe, like, after this video, I'm probably going to, send her a personal message or call her, or, just do something to give my insight of love and care, of course. Probably not in the same tone as this, but, like, it's just like, come on now. Come on. Get it together.